Okay, Sunbracers is just way too fun. Like, come on, you're gonna tell me that it's not fun literally setting the entire floor on fire? Like, dude, this is just amazing. If you don't know what they do already, let me show you. They do two things. Firstly, they increase the duration of the solar grenade to about double, from 4 seconds to 8 seconds. This is already a huge improvement, and it's super strong. Secondly, while having solar grenades equipped, getting a powered melee kill will give you a buff called Sunbracers Ready for around 6 seconds. While you have this buff and you throw a solar grenade, you're gonna get another buff called Sunbracers for another about 6 seconds. While you have this buff, you are gonna have basically infinite grenades, because it will just recharge your grenade super goddamn quickly. This lets you throw out like 5 or 6 grenades in the space of this time, which is amazing. Also, they look cool, and that's another perk. That should be written down. But yeah, on its own, these things are already like stupid good, but we can actually make it better. Firstly, we're gonna pair it with bottom tree, not top tree. The reason we're not pairing it with top tree is because, well, bottom tree is just kind of better, especially for your solar grenades, because it lets them chain react with the solar explosions, which in my mind is greater. Also, its super is like multiple times better, and it's passive or active. But unlike top tree, we're actually going to have to make a build around it, which is actually a lot easier than you think. Plus, we're going to pair it with double momentum transfer, that's the one. This is going to mean when you do damage with your grenades, it just shortens your melee cooldown, and you can stack these as well. With 2 stacks of this, it decreases your melee cooldown by around 20% per tick, but it has a really, really long cooldown. So instantly on its own, we're already getting around 40 to 60% of our melee back per Sunbracers barrage, which is insanely good already, but of course we need to get that 50% back. And to do that, we're going to be using heavy-handed. This means while we're charged with light and we use our powered melee, we're going to get instantly half of it back, literally just like that, which is obviously insanely strong, especially for this build, and it covers that rest of the 50% that we needed to get our melee back. But obviously to use this, we're going to need to be charged with light, and to do that, we're going to be using wells. So for our well mods, we're going to be using elemental ordnance and bountiful wells. This means when we get a kill with our grenade, we're going to summon 2 solar wells from that kill. Then we're going to be pairing that with elemental charge, which means when we pick up a well, we're going to get 2 charged with light, which obviously means we can use heavy-handed. And yeah, and then for your final mod, I'm going to recommend Seeking Wells, which means our wells will travel towards us passively. And I know some people might think this is a waste of a mod slot, but let me try and justify. Firstly, when your battlefield looks like this, it can be a bit hard to find your wells and actually pick them up. And secondly, you actually don't really need anything else. If you're thinking maybe like Explosive Well Maker or another elemental ordnance, you don't need it. You already get back all of your melee just from like the rest of it alone and these 2 wells. There's no real point for extra wells. But if you really hate Seeking Wells that much, you could go something with like Well of Life to give you that survivability. Honestly, it's your choice. Other than that, that's about the build. If you want, you can pair it with Monte Carlo in case you screw up your chain and you don't have a melee. And then of course you can pair it with double Ash to Ashes to instantly turn it into a super build, which I would highly recommend. And then finally, I mean, it's a melee build, so strength is going to be important. But other than that, there's nothing else that's really going to be necessary. So enjoy the gameplay, have fun, see ya.
Lots of movement ahead. Be ready for anything. Fallen raiding party ahead. They don't seem thrilled about Nabota's presence.
They won't appreciate yours either.
here is sealed.
T-complex. I'll need time. I'm close, but just so you know, there's more fallen than Hive on the way.
Barrier is down.